Okay, so the question is tithing and whether doing service is part of tithing. I think that's essentially the question. So the question is that, let's say for example you have a feed the hungry group in your city, and you are participating in that, you're volunteering in that. So that is what we call service, and it is the combination of service and tithing that basically establishes our karmic balance sheet. So for some people it's easier for them to give money, for some people it's easier for them to give service, and for some people it's required to do both. And that is what Arahatic yogis are supposed to do. We are supposed to do tithing and we're supposed to do service as well. Okay, but that said, to answer your question, yes, if you are feeding people, if you are, even if you're just soaking seeds at night and just putting it out there for the birds, that is also tithing. That is also tithing. The beauty in Pranic Healing is that once you do the Kriya Shakti course, you learn how to what is called decree it. So decreeing is a process by which you can decide how that tithing is going to come back to you. Okay, so details on just the how to tithe portion, we have a video called How to Tithe. It's a YouTube video, it's on our channel. So you can watch that. That is more for the money giving point of view. Like, where do I give money? How do I give money? Okay, now what was your other question? Just ask me one by one, it's easier for me.
Yeah. Another question was that if I have 2-3 sources of income, so I take out tithing from like in average of that 10% of all like profit of all three, or different separately from 10% of other, like separately from the sources.
Okay. So if you have multiple businesses, multiple sources of income, there are two ways of doing it. The way I do it is that for every business, I have a certain income, and every business has its own associated expenses. So I just minus the expenses from the income, and then I have my profit. And then from that profit, I make a 10% donation. That's one way. Now, let's say, for example, you have multiple businesses and they have, let's say, common expenses. For example, you may have a common office, or you may have a common staff who is working on all three businesses. Then in that case, what I would do is I would add up all the revenues. I would remove all the expenses of all the businesses, and then the figure that I have left, I would donate 10% of that. Okay, so it's up to you. It depends on how you're doing your accounting. In my case, I also tithe 10% of, in India, we have the system of my giving money. Like you get gifts from your parents as money. We have something called Sindhara, we have Rakhi, we have a couple of other functions in which we get gifts. Both men and women get gifts, like cash gifts, right? So I actually tithe 10% of that also. So that's just me, because that is also in some sense a form of income for me. So I tithe that also. Okay. You have any questions?
And one more thing, if one of my like business is not having profits and it's like in loss, so you said if you are in loss then also loan and tithe, so how much percent, like how do we calculate the percentage, or how much do we tithe according, like if you're not having profit or?
Right. So my answer to that would be one, if you're combining all the businesses, then let's say your one business has profit and the other one doesn't, you're still combining the revenue. So let's say, for example, let's say in my business, I have a revenue of, let's say 1 lakh rupees. Okay. And the 1 lakh is coming from business A, but business B has expenses of 50,000 rupees. Business A does not have expenses of 50,000 rupees, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine the two. So I have a total income of 1 lakh rupees. There's a new business, which is business B, which is just has expenses, doesn't have profit. So that's 50 lakhs. I minus 50 lakhs from 1 lakh, I get 50 lakhs. I'm sorry, 50,000. What did I do? Okay, so 1 lakh is my revenue and 50,000 are my expenses. So 50,000 rupees is my profit. I'll donate 10% of that, which is 5,000 rupees. So it's up to you how you keep your accounts and how it's easier for you to calculate. One thing that I do recommend to people is don't get into analysis paralysis. Okay, don't just think so much about it that you don't proceed. So bottom line, total revenue minus total expenses, tithe whatever is your profit. Now some people ask me, what about home expenses? Your home expenses, your clothes, your food is not to be deducted as business expense. It is not a business expense. Okay, what is a business expense maybe is your office space. If you have some direct marketing expenses, if you have expense. Like we use a lot of alcohol spray, we use a lot of isopropyl in our healing, we use some really good quality oils. So all of that can be deducted from my business expense for my pranic healing. But the fact that I'm occupying my room in my house, I don't think I can deduct rent for that as part of my expense. That's how I work it. Okay, different people have different philosophies, because my objective is the more I tithe, the more I benefit. So somebody has asked in the case of salary. So in the case of salary, obviously there is not too much direct expense. The only direct expense may be like a commute or something like that. It's up to you. As for me, whenever I've worked in many companies for many years, and I've worked for about 25 years, out of which 20 years of those were actually with companies, which means I was being paid a salary. I would just give 10% of whatever that check looked like. So if I got a check for 1.5 lakhs, I would just donate 15,000 rupees. End of discussion. Okay. And my business accounting, because I always have also had businesses parallelly, either family businesses or shares in business, or my father's business, my husband's business. So whatever I get from that I calculate as a business income. So it depends. And of course, what my mother gives me as a gift, that's a different account. What my mamaji gives me is a different account. Okay. Which means I give 10% of everything.
And what about who have only single business? Like in my family, some of them have only single business and they are like occurring losses. So how should they calculate tithing on that?
So my question would be, have they never had a profit? There was a profit at some point. Did they tithe 10% at that time? Did they tithe
No. So
10%?
that
So that's a backlog. That's a backlog of tithing. So again, normally in the Pranic Healing School, we don't recommend that people take loans. We recommend that people don't have personal debt. We recommend that people don't have business loans either. But one of the occasions where this is what I've understood, and I may be wrong, is that I have heard that tithing is so important that it is believed that Master Chua had said that if you are in very bad financial condition, you may take a loan for the purpose of tithing. Okay, so he's not saying to take, this is what I've understood. Okay, so I may be wrong, but this is what I've heard, this is what I understood, this is what I practice. If any of you find that this information is wrong, please come back and tell me. But this is my understanding, that Master Chua said that tithing is so important that you may take a loan to tithe. Now, see, for most of us living in decent homes, I don't think we need to take a loan to tithe. This is my personal opinion. Okay, you definitely don't need to take a loan to tithe 10,000 or 15,000 rupees, but it's up to you. See, ultimately, what is tithing? So let's go back to the concept of tithing. Why do we tithe? What is the tithe? The tithe is a seed. It is a seed. So suppose today, if one person does not have any seeds, then what he does, he asks his buddy, listen, buddy, I don't have any seeds. Can you give me a loan? I'm going to plant those seeds. And then when I get something from those seeds, I'll try and return your seeds. What am I talking about? I'm talking about taking a loan. So let's say that, Anil has no seeds, which means he has no income right now. He has no profits right now. He has only expenses. So he asks his buddy, Ajay, and he says, listen, Ajay, give me a loan. I'm going to get some seeds and later on I'll pay you back. Okay, so Anil takes a loan from Ajay for, at this point, it's going to be money. He takes a loan of, let's say, 10,000 rupees, and he does what? He tithes. He makes a donation. Once he's made that donation, he has planted the seed. Hopefully it will grow into something useful. And then once he has more money, he can repay Ajay. So I'm just taking names just to try and make it easier for everybody to understand. But the basic concept is, if you need to borrow to tithe, go ahead and do it. And for most of us, I don't think it's that difficult. It's if maybe if the business had a profit of 10 lakh rupees today, it may be difficult to donate 1 lakh rupees. I'm just saying, okay. Is it? Do you not even have those in savings? Does the business not even have that kind of personal savings? Does the person not have that kind of savings? So again, in the Pranic Healing School, even in the basic Pranic Healing book, Master has written, tithe 10%, save 20 to 30% of your income, and use the rest for whatever you need to. Okay. So once again, I always tell people focus on the philosophy of tithing. The philosophy of tithing is to basically improve your karmic balance sheet. Okay. You're putting in seeds for the future. Okay. Okay. So with that, we will, it's 4 o'clock. So we'll start with the invocation. And just one thing that we wanted to also share is that we have this program today. It's called Financial Fast Track. This was come up because right now we are not taking basic pranic healing workshops because of the COVID problem. So a lot of people said, how can you help us? So we've drafted this particular module to help people who have not done basic pranic healing and who would like to learn some techniques which come from pranic healing, but they are not strictly pranic healing. The techniques that we are permitted to share with our patients and with our clients, we're going to share some of those techniques, and that's what the Financial Fast Track program is about. Okay, so if you'd like to join, it's at 6 o'clock this evening, and you can ping Kunal to handle the registration. Okay. Okay, so with that, we will start the session. Let's close our eyes. Connect the tongue to the palate. Inhale slowly. Exhale slowly. Let us pray to the Supreme God, the giver of everything. Lord Mahaguruji Mailing, Master Chokok Sui, the teacher of these beautiful pranic healing meditations, the teacher of meditation on twin hearts, which is what we will do. Thank you, Master, for including so many techniques for prosperity within the twin hearts meditation. Thank you for helping us to cleanse our aura using the twin hearts meditation. Thank you for helping us to improve our financial balance sheet also by using the twin hearts meditation. We thank you in full faith. We thank you. So, since I mentioned the law of karma, and the Twin Hearts meditation has techniques which can help us with our prosperity. So, I'd like to just, we have a full video on that. It's called the Financial Applications of Twin Hearts Meditation. It is a 1 hour video. So, obviously, I can't cover everything here. But one thing that I feel is the most important part of this particular technique is, believe it or not, the blessing. Okay, so we visualize the earth like a little ball in front of us. We raise our hands like this in blessing position. Okay, our heart is already open, our crown is already open, and we bless the earth. Why the earth? Because the earth gives us what we need. What do we need? Food, clothing, shelter. If you have these three, perhaps you can bless the earth because you want better food, better clothing, and better shelter. Right? So ultimately, money and anything related to the material world comes from Mother Earth. So just bless Mother Earth. Open your heart and bless Mother Earth. She needs the blessings. People on Earth need the blessings today. We're dealing with the COVID-19 virus. So just open your heart and bless. No one's asking you for your energy. This is energy that you're getting from the Supreme God. All we're asking you to do is to be a little pipe. Just be a pipe. Just let that energy flow, and when something flows through a pipe, it also cleanses and it also fills up the pipe, right? You can't be a pipe without passing anything through. So when you are passing things through, when you're passing divine energy through your body, you are also receiving some of it. You're going to keep some of it. Most of it you can give away to Mother Earth. So let's do Twin Hearts meditation with that in mind today. Okay? Keep your eyes closed. Let's raise our hands in blessing position. Now, it seems from the chat on the group that all of us want slightly different things from life. So I'd like you to think of one person or several people who have what you want. So let's say, for example, someone has said they want to remove obstacles from career or study. So bless somebody, think of somebody who has what you want. They have a good career or they have a good education. Just find somebody like that in your mind. Okay. Someone has said that they have a relative who has COVID. So think of someone who has COVID. If you're afraid of COVID, Just think of someone who has it and we are going to bless them. What are we doing? We are basically, again, using this is an application of the law of karma. What you want, you give. So you give some part of what you want. So let's raise our hands in blessing position. Let's bless someone who has something that you want. Let's say, for example, you want a nice bungalow. Bless someone who you think has the kind of bungalow that you want. Let's say you want a good relationship in marriage. Bless a couple who has a good relationship, a good marital relationship. If you want a child, bless someone who has the kind of child that you want. Be aware of the energy flowing from your hands, going to this person. So what are we doing? We are sowing the seeds. We are fertilizing someone else's seed. What does that mean? Because we are taking care of someone who has what we want, we are sending a signal to the universe. You know what? This is what I like. Send me this. What tends to happen with us is that we tend to think of things that we don't want. Unfortunately, that doesn't work with the universe. So suppose I say right now, don't think of a mango. The first thing you're going to think of is a mango. So the universe doesn't understand that. The universe thinks in pictures. Okay, so make a picture of what you want. If you want a mango, think of a mango. Don't say, I don't want cactus. Think of what you want. Okay, so let's bless something we want. Now let's also think of our financial target. First, I'd like you to bless all the people who you know who are financially well off, who you consider well off. So one of the techniques is that you can bless the richest people in the planet. You know, there's Elon Musk, there's Jeff Bezos, Mukesh Ambani, Lakshmi Mittal, who else? Whoever you want to. Bill Gates, Warren Buffett. Just bless all the rich people. If you want good finances, bless them. It's a technique, it works. All I can tell you. Okay, the next one is health. So visualize somebody who you think is in the pink of health. You know, they're fit, they have the kind of body you want. So suppose you want, I don't know, Hrithik Roshan's body, for example. Bless Hrithik Roshan. If you want the body of, I don't know, I mean, I can't think of anybody right now, but okay, you get the idea. Think of someone whose fitness, whose health you think is good. Bless them. Bless them with good health. Then bless yourself also. Okay, now let's think of relationships. So, you know, if you've seen, you know, sometimes we see pictures of like a very loving relationship between mother and child, father and child, husband and wife, whatever it is. Okay, so if you have a desire for a certain kind of relationship with your own relative, with your own father, mother, child, wife, husband, whatever, just visualize somebody who has that kind of relationship in your knowledge. Now, don't get into the details of, you know, is it real? Is it fake? No need for all of that. If you think they have a good relationship, just bless them. Just bless their relationship. If you're facing marital discord, bless somebody who has good communication with their spouse. If you're facing a relationship problem with your mother, bless somebody who has a good relationship with their mother. And then bless yourself. Remember, the energy is still flowing. We're still a pipe. We are a channel for energy to flow. And now for the spiritual target. So bless somebody who is spiritually where you think you want to be. So let's say you want to be an Arhatik yogi. Just bless whoever you know who has done Arhatik yoga. Suppose you want to do advanced pranic healing. Bless someone who you know has done advanced pranic healing. Just bless them. If you don't have anybody in mind, it's fine. Just say, I bless all people who have done advanced pranic healing. For those of you who want to do the basic pranic healing workshop, you can just bless the people who you know have done it. And if you don't have anyone to bless, you can bless me. I'm open for, you know, I'm always open for blessings. Kunal is also open for blessings. Devapriya, Priya, we are all open for blessings. If you have a shortage of people, you can bless us. We are open. See, the beauty of blessing is that you have to be open. You have to be open to receive. So to be open to receive, first give. And then just tell the universe, you know what? I want this amount of money. I want this kind of relationship. I want this kind of health. And I want this kind of spiritual target. Thank you so much. Create a clear vision. Take a few minutes, take a clear vision of how your life will be with that relationship, with that amount of money, with that kind of health, and with that kind of spiritual target. Put it all in one picture now. Just put it all in one picture, one nice picture. Okay, keep that picture in your mind. Let's all bless it. So let's all bless each other's pictures. Okay, so we have 40 of us here. Let's bless the other 39 people's vision of themselves, like what they want. Open your heart. Because sometimes what happens is we unfortunately we sometimes have doubts about our own desires. So what we do is we bless other people's desires, right? Hopefully they don't have doubts. So just bless other people's desires. You don't even know what they are, so it's like easier to bless, right? Just open your heart and be like, here you go. May all 39 of you, may all your wishes come true. I wish, I pray, I let myself go. I let the energy flow. Oh, that was nice. Okay. Okay, take a deep breath. How do you feel? Hopefully you feel good. So I just wanted to say, today's original topic was service and tithing. What's the difference between the two? So yes, there are lots of books and workshops on that. I'd like to summarize in two techniques. One, tithing is giving 10% of your income, your net income or your salary. And service is something that you can do by simply blessing the earth. Master Chua has made it super easy for us. Service is very simple. Sit down for 20 minutes. Just do the Twin Hearts meditation and bless with your heart. That's it. Service and tithing. Simple. I think these things everyone can do. Okay, so that's it.